Hi, this is howtofilefordivorce.org, and today we're going to file for divorce in the state of Colorado. So, going forward, step-by-step guide. In Colorado, there's a couple requirements. First off, you got to be a resident for at least 3 months. Second, the only cause for divorce allowed in Colorado is the irretrievable breakdown of the marriage, which sums it all up. Now, how long does it take? A divorce in Colorado takes a minimum of 3 months, but you can do it in about 3 months if you both want to get divorced and you know pretty much what you both want out of it, such as all your property, your assets and debt, and all that fun stuff. So, getting started, on the left side of the screen, step 1, download the Colorado Divorce Papers package that we have, and that'll have all the forms that you need that we'll be talking about in just a second. Step 2, the spouse that has decided to file for divorce must fill out the following forms. Now, these 3 forms are a necessity for you to file or start the process of filing for divorce. So you want to fill all these out, and once you do, you can move on to step 3, which is the spouse that has filed for divorce must submit copies of the completed documents, as well fill in the portion of the summons sectioned acceptance of service. Now, you have to submit this to the court where you are a resident, and the filing fee in Colorado is $230. But some counties charge an extra service charge fee. I know. And you have to contact the clerk before filing to see if your county is one of these. Hopefully it's not, but they're out there. Step 4. Within 40 days of filing the petition, you must completely fill in the following forms and provide copies to your spouse: a sworn financial statement and supporting schedules. Now, after trading copies with your spouse, each of you must file the forms with the clerk. So you trade these, you fill out these 2, you give 2 of these to your spouse, you both fill them out, then you trade with them, and then you have to file them with the clerk. It basically just shows, it'll ask for your tax return, how much you made last year, so that when you start negotiating the deal, that the court knows that when they see everything, that a fair deal hopefully will be done. And if there's any challenges to the deal, they'll say, oh, okay, this person is making a lot more money than this person, so okay, we can see why they want more money. And so if your spouse fails to do so within 40 days of filing these, you must file a motion to compel in order to force your spouse to file the documents. So after you do this, you have to meet with your spouse again to fill out the following forms and file with the court clerk's office. And you have to file these 6 forms. Now, if you have children, you have to file these 2 forms, but if you don't have children, then you only have 4 forms to fill out. And the big one here is the separation agreement, which is basically going to spell out exactly what assets and debts each of you are going to take on after the marriage. So, after 90 days from the spouse not filing a signed or summons in step 3, you can set a court date hearing by filing the notice of set with the clerk, and a filed copy must be sent to your spouse. And if you are notified the day of the notice of set, you will be required to file at the same time the notice of hearing, and a copy of the notice of hearing will also be required to be sent to your spouse in order to inform him or her of the scheduled date. So after you have your court date, you can move on to step 7 and go to your court hearing and make sure you have completed the divorce decree and support order. Both forms will be mailed to you after the hearing, as long as you bring the 2 pre-stamped and self-addressed envelopes. Obviously, the address, one has to be to your spouse and one has to be to you. And once you get those 2 forms, your divorce in Colorado has been completed. And that's it. That is how you file for a divorce in the state of Colorado.